harvesting strength. Your yoga invitation for today is to realize the union, the yoga between intention, growth, and gratitude. Thank you for joining today. Namaste. We will pause a few moments for our centering stillness. On your mat, in your favorite seated pose right now, whatever that looks like for you, begin arriving. Yoga begins by stopping. Stop the agenda that's outside of your mat. Welcome yourself and invite yoga to meet you where you are today. With your next breath, we'll begin moving our body with some warming practices. A receiving breath allows the arms to reach outwards and begin to circle all the way up. Let's release this breath as the palms, fingers, thumbs touch, and the thumbs draw the midline to your heart center. A receiving, arms reach and rise. Releasing breath. Let those thumbs just travel the midline of your body to the heart center. And last one. We're reviewing intentions in our warming practice. The intentions we bring to our mat. And with that very next breath, let's reach out both arms wide to that wingspan. Lift the left arm all the way up, fingertips reaching high above, right hand softly touches down to the mat. And let the right arm slide over to the right as the left side of your body begins to open. We'll come back to that center, receive a breath. Lifting of the right arm all the way back up, releasing the breath. Let's bring the arms forward now. Reach them forward. Keep reaching through the fingertips, open through the shoulder blades, and then turn the fingers upwards and push that energy away. As you receive the next breath, arms open again to the wingspan. Move into your sun god arms, and then interlace the fingers behind your head. Elbows stay reaching out wide. Heart center, front body stays opening. Release the breath. Now let the right elbow start to travel down towards the mat, right side. Head can stay neutral. You can gaze upwards towards the left elbow. One more breath. Here we go, back into the center. The arms reach up high again. Separate the palms, open through the wingspan. Bring just the right arm down, please. Keep the left arm lifted. And then reach the right fingertips over to the left knee or thigh area. Reach again through the left arm and reach over to the right. Intentions. It's what we begin to plant on the mat to guide us through our practice. And we'll rise back up to the center. Open both arms through the wingspan now. Bringing the left palm and arm down, rising the right arm all the way up. Release a deeper breath. And let the left hand reach away from the body. Notice the sensations of stretch through the right side of your body. Bring your head into alignment that's serving you best, and then back up into that center. Lifting of the left arm all the way up, reaching both arms forward. Reach those fingertips again. Reach, and then turn the fingertips up, pushing the palms away from your body. The receiving breath. Reach upwards. Open those arms through wingspan into your sun god arms. And again, interlace the fingers behind the head. Keep the elbows wide, front body open. Release this breath. Now the left elbow travels down towards the mat. The right elbow reaches up high. One more breath. Where are your intentions? What are you planting on your mat to serve your practice? Back to the center. Here we go. Open those arms back out. Reach them up, 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 and then bring the left hand over to the right knee or thigh area. Reach again through the right fingertips and release over to the left. One more breath. And back up into that center. Left arm reaches up with the right arm. Open both arms through wingspan. Bring the palms all the way down to the mat. Receive a breath as the heart center lifts. Release the breath, and we'll transition so that the knees are bent, soles of our feet are flat on the mat. Gonna do a little seated spinal waves from this position here. So the feet and the knees are hip width apart. Help lift the torso by bringing the hands onto the shins so that the torso is lifted, heart center lifted, shoulder blades sliding down. Hold that uplifted posture. Release your hands. Bring them behind you or alongside you. Whatever's going to serve you. Remember, you're asking yoga to meet you where you are today. Receive a breath. So we're going to go into the upward wave. Press the palms down. Lift the front body up and gaze up. Release a breath, downward wave. Chin tucks down. Back body pushes away so that you feel the back body opening. And then we'll flow. As you receive a breath, upward wave, heart center lifts up, eyes gaze up, release a breath. Downward wave, chin tucks down, head bows down. Back body rounds to open. Come back to that center. Notice the torso, keep it lifted. And then we'll just move into a gentle hip opening practice. So maybe you readjust your hands, press into the soles of the feet just to hover the hips. And then pick up the right foot. Let the outer right ankle rest on top of the left thigh. Toes flex back towards the shin, then lower the hips down. There you go. Just lower them where they want. You can keep moving. you could just let the hips rise and lower gently. Or you can find that perfect little sweet spot today and pause with a breath. Let's all do one more breath. And as you receive the next breath, hover the hips, plant that right foot down, lift up the left foot, cross the left ankle on top of the right thigh, so the knee opens up, the toes flex back, and then you start to lower the hips down. Keep those shoulders broadened, please, so the collarbones stay open, the heart center stays lifted. One more. You're going to notice some new sensations as you keep practicing, keep moving. And then hover the hips just gently. Plant the left foot down. Slowly transition into a seated pose so you can continue into tabletop. So you might move the wrists a little bit, do a little circle, give them a reprieve. And tabletop. From tabletop, we'll flow through our spinal wave to child's pose now. Here we go. Receiving breath. Releasing breath. Downward wave. Tailbone tucks down, head bows down, back body opens up. And then reach the hips back towards the heels. You're just going to flow. So you receive a breath. Rise back to tabletop. Upward wave. Tailbone lifts. Crown of the head lightly lifts. Release a breath. Downward wave. Is your intention remaining strong and stable here? Has your intention changed? Last one, please. When we're all completed with our little sequence, back into neutral position, let's tuck the toes. Let's let the hips reach back towards the heels now. Hover the knees and unfold to your dreamy downward facing dog. And let's walk the dog this morning. One heel up, one heel down. Rise the heels together. Lower the heels together. Receive the breath. Let's gaze forward. Let's soften the knees and walk our toes towards the top edge of our mat. Receive a nice deepened breath and release the breath. Just do a gentle forward fold. Bow gently. Receive the breath. Half lift. Lift the chest away from your thighs. Place the palms on your shins or your fingertips in front of your toes. And then receive a breath. We're going to rise to upward salute. Arms reach. Legs stretch out. Lift all the way up into your upward salute. Just feel the shoulder blades slide down as the front body opens again. And as you release this breath, open your arms to the wingspan. I'm going to turn to the long edge of my mat. Please stay where you are. And then we're going to do a little balancing pose. So feel the fingers reaching, the soles of your feet grounding. And now we're going to focus on how we go from intention to how we use that on our mat, to how we can use our strength to help us keep growing in yoga. So we'll rise the arms up again. Big, deep in breath. Releasing of the breath. Bring the arms down to the wingspan, and then let's just pause to touch the fingertips to the hips. And notice, are they level? And then we'll engage that strength through the left leg. Focus on your drishti and pick up the right heel. Start to pick up the right foot. Stay where you are here, or bring the right palm down the front of the right shin and draw the heel towards the hip. Stay here if you choose, or let that left arm reach up high. One more breath. How does your strength invite you to grow? Releasing of the breath. So you're going to bring that right leg forward. If it's behind you, lift up both arms again. Plant your right foot down. Receive that next deepened breath. Release the breath. Open the arms through your wingspan. Let the fingertips touch the hips again. Are they level? Engage your strength through the right leg. Soften the left knee. Pull up the left foot. Stay with this practice if that's what's serving you best. Or let the left hand come down the left shin. Draw the left heel in towards your sit bone. Stay here if that's serving you. Or rise the right arm up high above you. Release the breath. Come out of your pose. Slowly, mindfully. Bring your intentions and your strength to your mat here. Plant the left foot down. Lifting up strong through the both arms. Reaching through the fingertips. Opening those arms to wingspan. Here comes a little chair pose. Soften both knees. Hips drop down, arms release down. Receive a breath. Reach the arms forward. Reach them forward. Stretch through the fingertips. Release the breath. Palms touch. Fingers, thumbs touch. Draw the thumbs to the heart center. Release your next breath. Yeah. Bend the knees a little more as you reach the tailbone away from your body. So the torso is just kind of bowing towards your thighs. Stay with this practice or move into a twist. Left elbow over towards the right side. And maybe you'll let that right elbow lift as you turn into it. Releasing of the breath. Go back to your center. Receive the breath. Reach the arms forward. Open the arms up. Rise up. Ooh, what strength through the lower body to lift from there. Arms rise high again. Open the front body. Release the next breath. Opposite side. Arms return to the wingspan. Knees start to soften. Arms release down. And then we reach those arms forward and draw the palms, fingers and thumbs together. Draw the thumbs to the heart. Continue. Breath. Let the sit bones reach away, or your tailbone reach away as your torso bows towards your thighs. Stay here or bring that right elbow over towards the left side and turn into a twist. Release a breath. Back to your center. Receive the breath. Rise to your upward salute. Releasing of the next breath. Soften. Receive the breath. Open again through the front body. And let's interlace the fingers now. Create your steeple mudra. Index finger reaches high above. As you receive the next breath, lift through your steeple. Release the breath. Reach over to the right side. Receive. Rise to your center. Release. Reach over to your left side. Receive, rise back to your center. This time, engage strength through the right leg, soften the left knee, pick up the left foot, cross the left foot in front of the right leg. Reach again through your steeple, release the breath. Again, reach over to the right side. Receive, back to center. Soften the knees, micro bend them. Pick up the left foot. Plant that left foot down. Receive the breath. Strength through the left leg. Soften the right knee. Right foot picks up. Cross the right leg in front of the left leg. Get strong through the lower body. Let it serve you. This is your growth. Trust in this. And then release the breath. Reach over to the left side. And we rise back up to our center together. Micro bend the knees gently. Pick up the right heel. Plant that right foot down. Open the arms through your wingspan. Turn the palms down. Gently and slowly start to move into a little standing balance, into our energizing sequence. So from here, with arms reaching, the front body lifting and opening, receive the breath. Arms rise up and the heels lift up. Yeah. Release the breath. Circle the arms down to your sides. Bring the heels all the way back down. Good. 2 more. As the arms reach out and rise up, the heels lift up. As you release the breath, the arms circle back down to your sides and the heels softly come down. 1 more. And then pause for this moment in your mountain pose. Turn the palms forward. Relax the shoulder blades down. Softly draw the tailbone downwards. Thigh muscles hugging those big, deep thigh bones. Let's lift the kneecaps. And then let's lift the toes. And from your mountain pose, we move into the energizing sequence as we review the gratitude for experience that you bring to your mat. Receive. Arms are going to rise again. We're going to get that right leg strong, pick up the left foot and leg again, and then step that left leg all the way back. So you are now into a high crescent lunge. Toes at the top edge of your mat. Pause for a breath to really come home here. Engage that back leg. So now your intention, your strength, and your experience is now bringing you into the gratitude of your practice. As you release, let's hip hinge. Let's bring those fingertips forward. Feel the hips reach back, but keep that right knee bent beautifully. Here we go. Rise back up. Receiving breath. High crescent lunge. Releasing breath. Hip hinge. Arms reach forward. Tailbone or sit bones reach back. Rise back up to high crescent. Find your drishti. Receive the breath. Pick up that left foot, bring it forward, and then let that left foot lift. Release the breath. Slowly start to bring that left leg all the way back. Circle the arms down. Going into a lunge or runner's lunge. So the hips hinge again. The fingertips travel down to the mat. You just touch. Maybe today you've got 2 blocks framing the foot. Release the breath. Flow to pyramid. Stretch out the right leg. Let the hips reach back. Receive the breath. Half lift. Release the breath. Bend the right knee again. High lunge or runner's lunge. Release the breath. Start to flow back into pyramid. And receive. Come back to your runner's lunge. Here comes a standing split. Prepare. Receive the breath. Reach the hands and arms forward so you create a tripod between the fingertips and your right foot. And then step that left foot in again and let it begin to rise up. Gaze down. Straight through the right leg. Release the breath. Here we go. We're going to go to Shiva squats. Bend both knees. Hug the back left knee behind the right knee. Hug them in, bow forward. Receive, return, standing split. Woo. Release the next breath. Both knees bend again, but this time we're going to side angle. So we step that left foot all the way back. Step it back and then turn that left foot so it's 90 degrees to the front foot. Reach the left arm forward and open to your side angle. Breath. As you release this next breath, we're going to transition to warrior two. Left arm goes to the wingspan. Right arm rises. Torso lifts. Gaze over those right fingertips. Reach away from the fingertips. Power down through the lower body. Excuse me. And then we transition to warrior one. Left arm circles down. Start to turn the hips softly to the short edge of your mat as you pick up the left heel. Spin on the ball of the left foot, plant that left foot down again, and then rise the arms up. Warrior one. As you release the breath, we're moving into humble warrior. Arms open out through wingspan. Hips hinge again. Keep the right leg strong. Reach the left sit bone away from your body. Keep hip hinging. And then maybe you bring your hands to your hips. Maybe you bring your arms into airplane. Just the palms face each other, or the palms face up. Or maybe you interlace the fingers and you lift the arms up behind you. The gratitude for your yoga experience is arrived through your intention to show up on your mat. The strength to continue for growth and realize your gratitude. Oh, release the breath. Release the arms wherever they are. Receive the breath. Reach the arms forward and rise the body up. Lift it all the way back up. Warrior one. Hips release down. Shoulders release down. Heart center and fingertips reach up. Release the breath. Arms open through the wingspan. Stretch out the right leg. Transition to the long edge of your mat. Spin on the feet. Open the arms out to the wingspan. Here you go. 5 pointed star. So we lift the arms just a little bit higher than wingspan. Turn the heels in softly. And then lift through the heart again and open to the heavens here. As you release the breath, sun goddess. Elbows bend. Create the sun god arms. Knees bend. Let's see if we can lift the toes. Tuck the tailbone softly. Open through the front body. And receive the breath. Begin to lift up, reach up, stretch up the fingertips. And then we'll move through this little sequence on the opposite side. So we're going to open through wingspan and return to your high crescent lunge with do the opposite foot. So I'm just going to say turn onto the ball or heel of your foot to have the toes meet the opposite end of your mat. Release the breath. Soften the left or front knee. Circle the back arm down. Spin on the ball of the back foot. And then let both arms rise back up again. Reach up into your high crescent lunge. Let's release. Reach the arms forward. Receive. Rise back up to your high crescent. Release. Reach forward. And receive. Rise to high crescent. Prepare for balance. Find your drishti. Strength. Pick up that right foot. Bring it forward. And then lift that right foot all the way up. Reach it up. Lift it up. Excellent. Release the breath. Return to your high crescent. Open the arms through wingspan. We're going to just high lunge or runner's lunge. Again, hips hinge. Fingertips touch the mat. Pyramid. Stretch out the front leg. Let the body bow forward. Receive the breath. Start to return to your runner's lunge or high lunge. One more, release the breath. Flow through pyramid. Front leg stretches out. Back heel softly comes down. Receive. Back into your runner's lunge, high lunge. Prepare for standing split. Next breath. Pick up the back foot. Bring it forward. And then rise it up. Remember, walk your hands out. Create that tripod for a little more balance. Release a breath. Shiva squats. Both knees bend. Back thigh hugs behind the front knee. Receive. Reach that back leg again. Release. Shiva squats. Receive. Reach the back leg out. Here we go. Softly bend the front knee. Gently bring that back foot all the way down. Prepare for your side angle. Spin on the ball of the back foot, 90 degrees. Bring the hands back towards framing the foot if they still reached away. And then let that arm rise up. Open up to your side angle. Release the breath. Warrior two. Release the top arm. Pick up the bottom arm. Open out proudly. Gaze over those front fingertips. Warrior two. Hips open. Shoulder blades open. Hips sinking down. Strength and power. Notice how you bring your intentions to the mat. That's showing up. And then you begin to practice and you move into strength that serves your growth. And from all of that, you can feel your gratitude. Warrior two, transition to warrior one. Back arm releases down, back heel lifts up. Spin on the ball of the foot. Plant that back foot down and continue. Lifting through those fingertips. Feel the strength of pressing down through that back foot to lift the heart, lift the fingertips, release the breath. Humble warrior Arms open through wingspan. Hips hinge. Reach the sit bone back. Create the practice that's best for you. Move the hands and arms where they need to move. One more breath. And then release. Softly release the arms down. Reach the arms forward. Half lift. Just lift your torso. Oh, there's some strength and gratitude for your growth that you received. And then rise up. Lift up through the fingertips. Receive the breath. Stretch out the front leg. Pick up the front toes. Pivot on the balls of the feet. Open to your 5-pointed star. Open to the heavens here. Heart center stays lifted. Fingertips keep reaching. You're the brightest star in the sky. And our sun goddess. Elbows bend. Create the sun god arms. Knees bend. Draw the elbows back. Nicely done. Receiving breath. We rise back up. Lift up through the fingertips. Turn the feet parallel, please, if they're not already there. And scissor walk. Heel toe the feet back to hip width apart. Upward salute. And then slowly turn to the top edge of your mat once again. And from this upward salute, we begin to finish well together here today as we go into ragdoll forward fold. Arms again open to the wingspan, elbows bend. Draw the arms forward with bent elbows and then fingertips touch the opposite elbows. Soften the knees. Frame your face in between your hands and arms. And then keep bending the knees. Keep releasing. Let's reach away through the elbows to feel that side bodies and the upper back just kind of open to this. And then release the elbows. Release the head. Let your body swing and sway here. Free. Just like a little limp ragdoll. Just moving side to side. Come back to center, please. Plant the palms down. Step into your tabletop. And as we begin in the beginning warming, we'll incorporate this again into the finishing well. Spinal wave to the child's sequence. Receive a breath. Fingers spread wide. Palms pressing down. Release the breath. Tailbone tucks down. Head bows down. Hips reach back towards the heels. Receive the breath. Rise and flow through tabletop to the upward wave. Tailbone, crown of your head lifts slightly. Release the breath. Downward wave. Head bows too. And hips reach back towards your heels. Soften your forearms. Don't forget about them. That's part of your growth to be grateful for. And one more flow, please. Reflect on your intentions that you bring or plant on your mat. Reflect on your strength that has helped you to grow, and reflect on the gratitude, harvesting your strength. Everybody completed with that sequence, back to the tabletop. Slowly transition towards supine. You might cross your legs behind you, reach the hips back, and then keep transitioning to the supine. Let's bend our knees today And either use the hands and arms to support the rolling down onto the mat, or without the hands and arms for support as you roll down onto your mat. And once you feel your whole back body resting on your mat, knees are pointed upwards, they're hip width apart. Feet are hip width apart. Shoulder blades are relaxing down. Let's just place both palms on the abdominal area, just to notice the rhythm of your body's breath. This rising as you receive each breath, and this releasing breath that just softens the body. One more. Notice this pattern. And then very gently release the hands away from the abdominal area. Bring the arms down by your sides. And we'll do a couple of pelvic tilts now. The receiving breath, just focus in. Bring your intention onto focusing the lower spine. And just notice the gentle curve that your spine naturally has. When you're releasing your next breath, press that gentle curve down into your mat. So the lumbar spine is now flattened down to your mat. Receive a breath. Relax that practice and just notice the gentle curve that returns. Release the breath. Press the small of your back down into your mat. Receive. Relax that practice. Your body's wisdom will bring your spine back into that neutral position. And flow one or two more of these, please. As you keep reflecting on this month's theme through each practice, harvesting strength through your yoga practice. Intentions, growth, gratitude. Please complete this last little movement for your pelvic tilts. And when your spine is back into that neutral position, now we'll give a little honor to the shoulder blades. Receive the next breath. You're going to let the arms reach up above you. So whether you go forward first and lift up, or out to the sides and lift up, yogi's choice. Just let the lower spine stay in its natural state, that little curve. When you receive the next breath, just lift up through the fingertips. The shoulder blades will now lift away from your mat. Release the breath. Now intentionally draw the shoulder blades down to your mat. You might notice your arms widen when you do that. Receive the breath. Bring the arms back to shoulder width apart. Lift up through the fingertips and let the shoulder blades rise up. Lift up. Release the breath. Draw the shoulder blades back down. One or two more of these, please. So this resets the shoulder blades nicely. You can feel that action that you're giving the shoulder blades as they draw down to the mat. And then as the fingertips lift up again, the shoulder blades rise away from the mat. Please complete this last little movement. And then allow the arms to slowly circle all the way back down by your sides. One breath. And as you receive the next breath, we're going to pick up both feet and just give ourselves this little gentle hug. So perhaps your practice is favored by drawing the thighs towards the chest area. Maybe your practice is favored by drawing the knees towards the armpits. Just give yourself that little hug. Release it, draw it back in. Stay with yoga, so see if you can flow with the breath, releasing breath as you hug in, receiving as you relax the hug. And just complete one more of these, please. And when that is completed for you, slowly release your hug. Release your hands and arms. Let the feet slowly come down to the mat. Let the arms softly relax by your sides. And then we'll scissor walk the feet out to the long edges of our mat. We're setting our body up for our windshield wipe twist. Once the edges of the mat are felt through the soles of your feet, slowly start to open the arms out, away from your body, and then create your sun god arms. Elbows bent, back of the hands just resting on the floor. And we'll practice just a few softer movements for windshield wipe twist. And then we'll allow our body just to continue flowing into the movements. A receiving breath. When you release the breath, let both knees just release over towards the right side. When you receive the next breath, bring both knees back to center. Remember, feet and knees stay wide, and release the breath. Both knees release over to the left side. Receive back to center. Here we go again. Releasing breath. Knees release. The breath's worth over to the right. The receiving breath. Both knees come back through center. And the releasing breath. Both knees release over to the left side. Let the knees come back to the center. Pause for one complete cycle of breath. And then we'll allow the practice just to move into the place that will serve us best today. Windshield wipe twist. Begin again, receiving breath. The releasing breath. Both knees begin releasing to the right, and they just continue. It's a soft, slow releasing. Relaxing through the spine, the lower back area in particular, the hip area. Honoring our birthday girls, we crest to just enjoy some simple, relaxing stretches for the back body. Do 2 more breaths as the knees keep releasing over to the right. Do remember you always can bring in your props or your little yoga helpers if you want something under the outer right knee, just to support it on. Let it rest there. When that second deepest breath is being completed on the right side, receive the next breath. Start to bring the knees back to your center. Feel the center once again. Pause for that complete breath. Feet still wide to the long edges of your mat, knees still wide outwards. Begin releasing the next breath. Begin releasing both knees over to the left side. Just allow the breath and your body's natural movements continue into this practice. Knees releasing over to the left. Two more breaths. Notice when we pause with breath, how the body responds. We'll notice minute little details. When that second breath is completed here, receive the next breath. Begin to bring both knees back into your center. Feel the rising action. And when the knees are back in center, slowly release your sun god arms down by your sides. Slowly begin to scissor walk the feet back to hip width apart. Knees automatically follow that alignment. That's the growth of your yoga practice, some of these small details. And when both knees and feet are hip width apart, give yourself another delicious hug. Hug the thighs towards the chest or hugging your knees towards your armpits. And then we'll allow this gentle massage-like action as we roll from hip bone to hip bone. Now we might be really focused on the sensations through the low back, the hip area, the sacrum area as we do this, but also notice, are the shoulder blades staying relaxed? Do you find a rhythm with your breath body in this gentle swaying, hugging, massaging like action? One more breath. Back to your center. Softly release the hug and begin to let both legs elevate high above you. Again, yogi's choice, with or without support. This month's cover theme, or the entire intention this month, is harvesting strength. Have your intentions that you planted on your mat supported the harvesting of your yoga strength? Have the actions that you have practiced on your mat supported harvesting your yoga strength? And what growth have you witnessed from your mat? With your next releasing breath, slowly begin to release the legs down. Transition gently to Shavasana. Maybe today you would like to keep the lower back and the hip area softened into Shavasana. So as an option, you may bend the knees and then begin to scissor walk the feet again out to the long edges of your mat. And when you feel the edges of the mat through the soles of your feet, then just allow the knees to fall into each other. This is an opening for the hip area, sacrum area, releasing for the low back area. Or traditional Shavasana, legs stretched out, feet turning away from the body. Or perhaps you allow the legs to stay elevated. Shavasana. Most often we associate harvesting with fall, autumn. Now that we have harvested our intentions, growth, and gratitude, let us fall into ourselves. Let go and fall gracefully into the harvest you have made. Gently draw your awareness to that place between your eyebrows. Expanding that awareness into your space. And the wiggling through your toes, fingers, maybe ankles and wrists. Inviting your next breath to awaken you as you give your body an awakening stretch. And from this awakening stretch, we softly bend our knees to roll onto our right side. And then begin to rise into your seated pose. In our seated poses with Anjali Mudra, receiving a breath. Begin releasing of this breath as you softly bow forward. Thanking yourself for taking this time to reconnect. And know that everything you did was enough. We'll rise together. And closing together. Namaste. Namaste. Thank each of you today for joining together on your mat. Please do unmute yourself and say goodbye to your fellow yogis.
Thank you, Julia, for lovely yoga.
Happy birthday to you, my lady.
Happy birthday, Teresa.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, Julie. Happy birthday, Julie. I mean, Teresa. Thank you, Julie. Boy, I really went out in yoga today. Stavasana. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Oh, thank you all.
Thank you.
Have a marvelous, marvelous week. And we will have one class next Monday, Labor Day Monday at the 10 o'clock hour. So stay tuned to your weekly newsletter. Enjoy your week. Mwah. Bye-bye for now.
You too. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Julie, take care.
Love you.
Take care. Take care.